Hey all, DJ Legion back with you. Came across a GRAIL, quote unquote, this week. Give you some history. One of my favorite bands, the New York Dolls. They broke up in 1975, and just prior to the breakup, Johnny Thunders had left the band and was replaced with Blackie Lawless, who at that time was calling himself Blackie Goozeman, and he went on to form WASP in the early 1980s. But anyway, right after the Dolls broke up in 75, in 1976, the bass player Arthur "Killer" Kane and Blackie formed a new band called the KILLER KANE Band in New York City, 1976. And they put out a 3-track, 7-inch EP. They pressed about 300 copies, and it's very collectible today, as you might imagine. I've seen one original in my lifetime that was going for $50 on eBay. That was supposedly an original. You know, sometimes, you know, I've heard they can sell for over $100. But anyway, our good friends at HOZAC Records, which is an independent label out of Chicago, have pressed up a reissue of the 1976 KILLER KANE Band EP. Here it is. It's very affordable. $9.25 was what I paid, and that included shipping. And this is the original jack cover. The same photograph is being used. And I'll show you the back once again. KILLER KANE. Side 1, Mr. Cool. Blackie went on to rework that track and changed the title to a tune called Cries in the Night. And it was later added to a WASP album. And Long-Haired Woman and Don't Need You. The KILLER KANE Band, of course. Arthur Kane of the New York Dolls. And Blackie Goozeman, a.k.a. Blackie Lawless, who went on to be in WASP. This is a very good replica of what the back looked like as well, with the exception of some HOZAC Records. That obviously wasn't on the original. But this color-coded in 4X and 33 1/3 EP was on the original back of the sleeve. So this is a very good facsimile of the original piece. And I'll give you a look at the interior as well. There's some HOZAC advertisements here, some of the stuff that they're selling. HOZAC, independent out of Chicago, like I said. Independent label, good stuff. And once again, more advertisements for HOZAC. And here's the original, here's a photo that came actually with the, I believe came with the original EP in 76. The KILLER KANE Band, and there's Arthur Kane, and there's Blackie Lawless. So, it's great stuff. This guitar player, Andy J, lead guitar and vocals, that's this guy here. He's the one who has the KILLER KANE t-shirt on. He's the one who, you know, worked with HOZAC Records to clean up the tapes and remaster them and remix them and so on and so forth. So thanks to him for that. Show you the label. This has definitely changed because they didn't have the HOZAC label. But here it is. HOZAC Records, KILLER KANE Band. It's great stuff, and here's the B-side with the Z's. I have some HOZAC stuff, some other HOZAC, and they always have this format with the Z's on the B-side. This is great. It even has, you can't see it, you're not going to be able to make it out, but etched into the dead wax at the end of the track. Let me see if I can get it here to at least highlight a little bit. Yeah, barely. It actually says, "Long live Killer Kane." It's etched into the dead wax on both sides. It's fabulous. Anyway, this is a bit of a grail for me. Like I said, they only pressed 300 copies or so back in 1976. And even this reissue they've only pressed another 500. So that's still not too many. 800 copies total between the two pressings is not many. Very excited to get this. So just wanted to show it off. It's great stuff. So if you're a fan of WASP, like I said, this track here, Mr. Cool, Blackie went on to rework that and retitled it Cries in the Night, and it wound up on a WASP album. So you could check this out. If you had this track, you could compare the two versions. So there it is. If you're a fan of the New York Dolls as well, and if you're a Kiss fan or an Aerosmith fan or a Twisted Sister fan, you should definitely be a fan of the New York Dolls. So there you have it, my friends. It's great stuff. Arthur Killer Kane, the 1976 3-track EP, is back on vinyl. Go to HOZAC Records website. Just look up HOZAC, HOZAC Records, and you'll probably get, you'll find your way to their site, and you'll scroll down and you'll see where this is for sale. And for, like I say, $9.25, including shipping, you can get yourself one of those 500 copies that they pressed up. So anyway, that is it, and that is all for this video, my friends. Go ahead, leave a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe. And until I see you all again, you know what to do. Turn up the music and turn down the drama. Have a great week.